So I watched the Ted Cruz Tucker Carlson debate from the other day, and I have to say I was mostly impressed with the interview. Some moments were funny, some were informative, some were shocking. But the thing that stood out to me the most was Senator Cruz's insistence upon supporting Israel. And the basis for this support is his view of the Bible. Specifically a verse found in Genesis 12:3, which states, "I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." So this, according to Senator Cruz, is the basis for his support for the nation of Israel. What's really interesting, though, is when you dig into the records of senators and representatives and how much money they have received from the Israel lobby. And when you take a look at Senator Cruz, it's pretty amazing to see that he has received almost $2 million from different players of the pro-Israel lobby. And I thought to myself, is there a real-life equivalent to this situation? That's an interesting question. And I like to imagine scenarios in the real world that we could kind of compare this situation to. So let's say you meet someone who says, you know what, I believe in the sanctity of marriage. It's just the right thing to do. When I get married, I believe it should be between a man and a woman. But you know what, I'm going to need about $2 million to stay faithful to you in this marriage. You would probably say to that person, beat it. Get out of here. You're not sincere at all. You're just doing it for the money. Let's say there was another person, though, your neighbor, who told you, you know what? I believe in charity. I believe in helping those less fortunate than we. So once a month, I go down to the food bank and I work all day to help those who are in need. But in order to continue to do that, I'm going to need a check for $2 million. And to that person, you would probably laugh out loud and say, get out of here. Clearly, you're not doing it for the charity. You're doing it for the money. Let's say you had a third person who said, you know what? I believe in being a dad. I believe in being there for my children, regardless of what is going on in the world. Whatever's happening, I will be there for my kids. But I need to get paid $2 million before I can actually do that. And most people would tell that individual to kick rocks because obviously he wasn't being a parent because it was the right thing to do. He wanted a big paycheck. Now, Senator Cruz says he supports Israel just because it's the right thing to do. And you know what? I'll take him at his word. He just believes it's right. And if his constituents support him in that endeavor, then I say fine. Good for him and good for them. But if we're talking about doing the right thing, if we're talking about the basis for our behavior is, quote unquote, doing the right thing, then we shouldn't need $2 million to make that happen. We do it because it's the right thing, period. And this underscores a gigantic problem we have in Washington, D.C., where these folks who are in the Senate and in the House of Reps are getting rich off these mega donations from lobbyists. In this instance, from the pro-Israeli lobby. And when people who are up there supposedly representing you and me are receiving millions upon millions of dollars from these different lobbies, it casts a pall over the whole process. It makes everyone doubt the sincerity of anything that is said from our senators and our representatives. Therefore, the way to fix this situation and the way to ensure that people truly are operating from a sense of doing what's right and their moral obligation is to ban lobbyists from making these kinds of contributions. The point of being elected to Washington is not to get on the gravy train of lobbyist millions. The point is to represent the people, the constituents, the people who voted for you. And unfortunately, that becomes impossible when other interests that are oftentimes in opposition to the people are allowed to bribe our senators and our representatives with millions upon millions of dollars. And that is another tragedy about what's happening in Washington, D.C. right now. Because of the rampant bribery, the rampant payola, it's really hard to take anything anyone says seriously. One of the ways we can fix that, though, is to ban this type of lobbying, to ban any kind of contribution or any donation above $200. That will go a long way to fixing this problem and to getting our senators and our representatives back under control of the people and out of the grasp of foreign nations and special interests who are currently controlling them. Now, if you like these ideas, feel free to peruse The New Way on Amazon.com. My book, The New Way, discusses a lot of different improvements we can and we should make in Washington, D.C. If you like politics, if you like events of the day, I promise you, you will enjoy reading The New Way on Amazon.com. And I'll put a link to that in the description box below. Also, if you like the work I'm doing here, feel free to make a donation to my PayPal account. Donations of any size are welcome because each one of those contributions helps me to keep cranking out content just like this. Raw, unfiltered, and honest content that you're not going to see anywhere else. So I'll put a link to the PayPal in the description box below as well. Thank you for your time. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.